Welcome to Chemistry 161. I am going to take a short minute here, couple minutes, to walk through the structure of the online portion of our course. So Chemistry 161 is a lab class. So typically we meet regularly and we sit in a classroom and we work on group activities and hear a little bit of lecture. And then we go into a lab and we work with our hands and we run a few experiments. And since we're going to be a fully online class this quarter, things will have to be a little bit different. We'll still have lectures, but they're going to be videos that I've made that'll be posted online. And we'll still have group activities, but you'll have to meet online through either Zoom or Discord or Teams or Google Meets or Hangouts to be able to interact with other students in the class. And our labs, instead of being all in the same place working together, we're instead going to be in our homes using lab kits and with support online. So it's pretty different. So the online portion of our class is actually going to play a really pivotal role in your success. So I'm going to walk through what you're going to need to navigate essentially on a weekly basis online. So our class is primarily going to be housed in Canvas. You should be able to log in with your South Seattle College ID and information, and then have a dashboard that has all your classes. It'll be right here. If you click our class, you'll get a screen that looks something like this. Might be slightly different because I'm in instructor mode. But you'll be able to get around to your other classes through the dashboard or through this courses link. You'll also have access to an inbox for messaging for all of your Canvas classes as well, right here, and a calendar that'll track everything from all your classes that are using the calendar function. So when you're actually in ours, I have set up our Canvas class so it's always navigated through the homepage primarily. You can jump around to other components. All the files are all dumped right here with my own organization system that if you can unlock the patterns of my brain, you can easily navigate. There'll always be announcements too, and this is my primary way of communicating with the whole class rather than sending out like an email blast. You should set up your Canvas page so these announcements come to you as an email so you get them right away because you're responsible for the information within them. And you can do that by going to your account right here and going to notifications, and you can click to have your announcements for the class sent to you either over email or over text. You can also jump around to a list of the assignments, which you can categorize in a couple different ways, discussions, grades as well, which will track your progress in the class and a few other things. I will always have the most recent announcements populate here at the top of your screen right when you log into the homepage. So you should be able to right away see if there's like a urgent typo on lab 4 or some sort of announcement like that. So when you first log into the class, you should see this start here, class introduction module. You are going to be required to work through this module and view and read everything before you have access to the rest of the class content. The second you work through all of these pages, then the rest of it will open up. Now, some of our later chapter modules may not be available yet as I am making changes in the first few weeks to them. But they will be the ideas for you to have all of the class content available to you so you can work at your own pace and work ahead if you'd like. So go through this one. I recommend just going through and hitting the next button and reading each page. It's got a welcome. You've already looked at a few of these probably. Information about technology needs. The page you're on now, navigating this course. It'll also have the syllabus and most importantly, it's going to have information about our grading structure, which I will have a separate video going into detail on. Now, once you get through this, our class is going to be structured on Canvas so that there are weekly modules. Each week will roughly correspond to one chapter in your textbook. The first couple of weeks week 2 and week 3 will have 1.5 chapters. Our first week, we're not going to dive right into the content of chemistry. Instead, we're going to deal with all of the getting class started work like checking out our lab kits, doing a lab safety exercise, introducing ourselves to one another, and setting some goals. So you'll need to work through this in your first week. Participation is mandatory because this is how I'm going to determine if you're actually participating in the class or if I should drop you so you're not charged tuition for it. Then we'll have kind of the regular pattern develop after that. Each one of these week modules will have an overview. This is going to list all of the tasks that you're going to need to do. It's going to be like, here are the concepts covered. You need to do this reading assignment and watch these lectures and do these practice problems. If that's not enough, here's some extra. And then also a lab assignment and a group activity typically. And that'll be your typical week in this class. You'll have homework, you'll have lab, you'll have a group activity. You'll need to either read the text or watch the lectures, or ideally both, to succeed. So after that overview, I'll have a list of the assignments. Let's get back to where we were for that week. So again, it'll be a reading and lecture, homework, group activity, lab assignment. Following the assignments, I'll always have all the lecture videos. And I've tried to create lecture videos that will be somewhere between 3 and 20 minutes and cover a single topic at once. So that way you can navigate back to it if later you're working on the homework and you're like, oh, wait, gosh, I don't even remember the sig fig rules. What? Like, instead of trying to find it in a video, you just be like, aha, significant figures, lecture 1D. I'm just going to watch this one and then the next one. Within this, I also practice problems too, so that you can come through and say like, oh man, I really need some help with accuracy, precision, and sig figs. Oh, here's a practice problem I can watch. And you can like focus in on that. So these will always be listed here in Canvas. They will also always be listed in my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is like all of my chemistry videos. And so it's Dr. Pickle in Chemistry, hopefully easy to find. And you can see it's primarily organized in playlists. And these are going to be for all of my classes. So if you come over to playlists, you can sort through and try to find the Chemistry 161 videos. Like right here, here is all of the Chapter 7 videos for Chemistry 161. And these will be the lectures in order, and you can just hit play all and sit back and listen if you prefer a longer lecture experience. So that's available as well. Following my lecture videos, I will always have then other videos that I did not make, that someone else made, and maybe they said it a little bit better. So a lot of these are Khan Academy, Crash Course, TED Ed, Bozeman Science, videos like that. Organic Chemistry Tutors, another one I really like. And some of these are really fun and like animations, and some of them are just someone else lecturing about unit conversions. But this is always a place to look if you're feeling like you need more video resources. This is kind of like me sifting through everything the internet has and saying, here's stuff that I think is at the right level for what we're doing in the class right now. And then this will be the pattern that you see for each of the weeks in each of the chapters. Some of our weeks are going to have less things in them, like week 6, we're just going to be playing catch up. And so your assignments it's just going to like have an assignment and like an overview. And there will be a couple modules that don't fit into this weekly pattern that are really useful. And one of them is our class references and resources. So this is going to have basically all the stuff to answer a question or to help you get better at something. So like stuff about joining class or coming to campus, or I want to use a different textbook than what the class is using. I have this one from my friend. Oh, and then you can figure out what chapters to be looking at. So there's like, and tutoring resources, like how to connect with a tutor. I also have things like an example of how to format problems in Chem 101 when it's asking you to like show your work for a dimensional analysis problem. I have lab resources too, like a whole document teaching you how to write a scientific objective, information about error analysis, appendices to the lab manual that will be kind of broken up. And so like this is a good reference reference document, resources for graphing in an Excel, writing resources for like especially claim evidence reasoning, and study skill resources. So this is basically here's everything that isn't like me teaching you a specific chemistry concept, but I think is really important to getting through the class. And lastly, we have a module that is going to have basically our grade building opportunities. So to get higher than a B, you would need to work on problem sets or projects, and these are going to have the assignments for them and information about them as well for you to look at. So that is our Canvas course. and take a, explore it. Let me know if you have questions about how to navigate it. Again, I think this video is trying to tell you how I designed it and how I expect people to use it. So that is probably the way to get the most out of the website. So there's that. We'll also be using a homework site called Chem 101, and this is actually a previous quarter's class because I want to show you what it looks like. So when you log into Chem 101, it'll look like there's nothing in it. It'll always look like this because it always pops into in-class assignments, which we don't have any. We're only using it for homework, so you have to click this homework tab, and then suddenly all these homework assignments will appear. And so like here's chapter 1. Actually, this is going to look like it's an instructor view, sorry. And so these will be all of your homework assignments will be listed here. So we do not yet have the ability to have grades in Chem 101 automatically populate into Canvas. So I'll be manually doing that at the end of each week. So if you complete something and you don't see it complete, like show the grade finalized in Canvas right away, that's why. All right, these are the 3 main sites we're going to use. Please let me know if you have any questions as you start to navigate this.